Hey, first day back. Let's see how we do. Yo, sorry for the delay there. Google was giving me some shits about my bit rate. Yes, I love that. Explicar, yes. Yes, please. That was awesome. Very creative. I cannot say thank you in Turkish. I don't know how, but I would. I'd say just thank you in Turkish, but in English. How do you say thank you in Turkish? Need a cup? I got cups. Check out my website. thegoodspottery.com. If you type in the word guinea pig, give you 30% off. Favorite dinosaur? Stegosaurus. Stegosaurus. How about you? What's your favorite dinosaur? I was going to make some of these little mini bowls today. Some of these little guys. See how successful I am. Been gone for a while. Haven't been on the wheel, and I struggle with the mini bowls sometimes. But we'll see how it goes. Find all the tools. Thanks for saying that. Pretty sure you'll do great. I appreciate it. And good afternoon to you, Bill. Oh, no, that's not Bill. That's Big Banana. Yes. Little measuring tool here. Usually the first one, sometimes the first two. Hi, Rowan. I suck for a couple. Yeah.
Naloxone reverses an opioid overdose, even if you mispronounce it. For the record, it's naloxone. Na like, is naloxone addictive? Nuh-uh. Lox like naloxone keeps humans safe like locks keep bikes safe, and own like naloxone can save lives in our very own communities. So let's head down to the pharmacy and pick up some over-the-counter naloxone.
Yeah. JM Clay, how's it going? Thanks for tuning in. Nice to know a fellow ceramicist. What are you working on today, JM? Nice. Video of making a cylinder. Working on some shorts. Yeah. Shorts. I've been thinking a lot about storytelling, since I have decided to go on YouTube. Trying to understand, how to tell a story. It's so hard. Otherwise, it's just like, look at me, look at me. But I think no matter what media we work in, there's an interesting story to be told. But it's a skill that I am not very good at yet. I really want to get good at it. Mm-hmm. Yeah, the music is probably a pro move. I think the best outlier video that I've had, well, it only got 10,000 views, but it had like a voice over the top of it. And like I said, I'm still learning about how to craft a video in a good way, but that's been my only success. I'll check out your video. Making a cylinder. Love that. None of your business says, who else is doing the emojis? LOL. And Misty said, gaming with Orn. Thanks for tuning in, Misty. Thanks. Yeah, I'm pretty new to this whole game. Taught high school pottery for 20 years. And during that time decided, social media might be a mistake, so stayed out of it. But now I'm on my own. And trying to see if that old adage, I always heard when I was teaching, it was in the back of my mind, like those who can do and those who can't teach. And I don't mean that as an insult to teachers. I just, for me, it was always kind of in my head, like, am I good enough to do pottery and sell pottery? That's kind of the curiosity that I have right now. Oh, nice. Taught, JM said, taught in a studio for a bit, trying to get to 50 followers, 50 subscribers. Yeah, I'll definitely subscribe. Do that right now. My hands on. What's going on in this horizontal feed? Let's see. I'm gonna get my keyboard. It's called JM Clay. Get out. JM Clay. JM Clay. Oh, I'm already subscribed. Oh, you're so close. 47 subscribers. And I'm looking at your how to throw a cylinder right now, giving it a thumbs up. And if you're watching this and have an interest, this person, JM Clay, posted a pretty cool video on how to throw a cylinder. Got some nice music. Yeah. Put a little comment in there. Oops, dang it. Yeah. How come I can't? There we go. Nice video. Typing. Love the music. Good job. Hey, that's a great cylinder. Nicely done. Yeah. Way to go. Yeah, that looks great. Taught yourself to throw. Wow. How long have you been working on the wheel? Yeah. Yeah, A+ from the teacher. You know, it's funny. I was actually, as a teacher, always concerned about like, how do you know if the work that they're doing is good? So I actually made up this rubric so that the kids could grade themselves. You know, how do you know if your cylinder is an A, a B, a C, a D? And it's not just a surprise, you know, like you get done and the teacher decides if they like you or not. Too much clay there. 3 years off and on. I'd say your skills are very good. Yeah. Do you have a kiln at the house, JM Clay, or you firing elsewhere? Scott. Yeah. Just need the right elements. Elements are stupid expensive. I don't know why they charge $500 for a set of elements. Some friends of mine, they have a kiln. Their elements went out. And actually they found somebody local where they are to make them a new set of elements, which I thought was super cool. I don't know how much it's going to cost, but I do know that for my kiln, the 1227, they cost about $560. Firing at a studio for now. Yeah. You ever done this one, JM? I just take this little, it's just a piece of garbage sack, really. And I know that they sell a chamois. But I just cut this with a scissor. And it works. Then when I lose it, I just cut another one. That one's too big. Madison's World. Yeah. Yeah, thanks for checking out JM's video. My wife, Wendy, he told me this one time, and I've always remembered it. She said, "A rising tide lifts all ships," or boats. A rising tide lifts all ships. And I love that because it's like we're all in this together, and even though we're doing the same craft, we're partners in it. And the better I do, and if I can help you out in any way, and the better you do it, it just helps everybody. We're all one tribe. JM, is there a specific potter that you admire most? Somebody who you've been inspired by? Oh yeah, Florian. Yeah, he is legit. I have always admired Florian. Actually, I haven't read it yet, but I did buy his book, By My Hands. That's what it's called. And he is a master storyteller. Madison said, "So I have a club at school, and it's every Thursday. I do pottery, and it's so cool and fun." Right on. Madison, do they have a pottery wheel there, or what kind of projects are you making? Cups and buildings. Sweet. And you're in the 4th grade. Well, for a 4th grader to be throwing on the pottery wheel is remarkable. I wish I had gotten a start that young. But I didn't want to do pottery. My father is a potter, he's a sculptor, and I thought, I don't want to do that. I want to do something else. So I kind of avoided it. But then I went to college, and a friend of mine was taking a pottery class and said, "Hey, you got to try this." And I'm like, I don't want to try that. And I went down there, and she put me on the wheel, and it was exactly my kind of craft, and I've been doing it ever since. Something about it, it's mesmerizing. The movement of the clay on the wheel. Oh, right on, JM. Your kids are homeschooled, so they all do pottery. Wow. What a great mom teacher. Like that kind of enrichment is outstanding. Swan City for the win. I'm playing my drone footage from my Costa Rica trip. And I've learned a lot about flying a drone. Mostly that it's like anything, a skill that you develop over time. Yeah, JM. I have a horizontal feed going, and they're so nice. They popped into the horizontal feed. Yeah, yeah. It's impossible to stay out of the sun there, although I do try. Practice my Espanol. Nick, I heard you switched. Did you switch to German? Is that what I heard? This is the hardest part sometimes, putting this little foot room in. I always put it too far down, and then I have a super deep foot well. Like that. It's too deep. Madison sells bracelets. Right on. What kind of bracelets do you make, Madison? Shoes. Golden says, "This is my dream. I have to try it." Seems so happy face emoji. Yeah, it is wonderful. I'll tell you. I absolutely love it. My whole family's from Puerto Rico. I know a lot of Spanish. Right on, Madison. I am just a Duolingo learner of Spanish. I do have a 2,000 day streak going. Ah, Nick said he's got 49 days. Sprechen Deutsch. Deutschland. Why do we call it Germany and not Deutschland? Yeah, Madison, I bet you'd be a great person to practice Spanish with. Wow. Oh, sponge. Yikes. Oh, no kidding. JM is also doing German on Duolingo. JM, if you know Nick Jordan, he is the producer and Wind Beneath the Wings of Jess at Swan City. He's doing German on Duolingo. Alemán. That's what I say in Spanish. Yeah. Pretty much everything I know about YouTube, I learned from Nick Jordan at Swan City Ceramics. That's true. He taught me about OBS. He taught me about camera setup. I don't have that yet, but he taught me about something called a stream deck, which makes it apparently this process a whole lot easier. And you know what else I notice about them is they're really good at engaging people. Like their skill is in asking questions, and that is something like life hack that I'm trying to get better at. Because if you can ask people questions, I think you can pretty much talk to anyone. And that is a goal of mine, is to be able to, no matter who it is, have an engaged conversation with them. And I just really admire that about Nick and Jess. My favorite tool, JM, that's a really good question. Now, I'll answer your question, then I'll ask a question of my own. I think probably my favorite tool is the RB2. I use it for everything. And I sometimes I'll take a grinder to them. Like this one, you can see I ground the bottom kind of round. So I use it inside of the bowl to kind of compress, especially when you're throwing off the hump. These can get little cracks in them. And another thing I learned from Swan City is they were talking about always compressing the base, which I was not in a habit of doing. So now I do that. And then also when you trim from throwing off the hump, compress the base again. Pro tip from the old Swan City. But let me ask you this, JM, because it came up the other day about like what is cheating in pottery, and what you'll see is this tool right here. It's just something that I made, right? But it's maybe called a jig, or I could just call it a rib, but it is the profile of my bowls. So you see, I just put it on there, and then I press against the rib to get not only the foot rim here, but also the profile of the shape. So my question is that cheating? Swan City said, JM, been chilling with us the last few weeks. Yeah, man. That's fantastic. I love that. Nick said, my first trainer told me I'm a great student. I asked why. He said, because you ask questions. Preach. Nick, you are great at asking questions. And you're a great coach. What happened to this one? JM says, no way. It's not cheating. Thanks. It's my only. It's the only way I can make pots.
Whatever you do,
that are always the same.
At Harbor Freight.
JM said, I throw outside, so I'm lurking in other people's stream, connecting with other potters after dark. Right on. I helped somebody one time make a graphic novel called After Dark. What did you ever do with it? It was good though. How many? I usually try to do more like time. So I'll probably throw for another hour at least. So I would guess, what do I have so far? 6 so far, so I'll probably do 25. There's like a rhythm to throwing, you know. It's I'm sure you know this, JM. You like get out of the rhythm if you take time off. So my first day back after a break, I always just give myself some grace, you know, to like let whatever happens happen. And mini bowls are kind of a great shape to make for that, because if you throw a whole bunch of them, you're probably going to get groups that stack together. Yeah, good question, JM. Thanks. Do I sell them? Yep, on my website, thegoodspottery.com. And if you have a second to check it out, I'd love any feedback. We just launched the website in January, so it's super duper new. Um, in fact, I think I've sold 11 orders so far. And hopefully this week we're going to do our first Instagram post, which gives you an idea of just how brand new I am to all this. Last year was a year of like failure. That's true. That's completely true. I think I threw like 1,400 pots and threw away 1,000. That hurts to say that out loud, but it is true. Oh, right on, JM. JM said her husband builds websites and does SEO, which means, I just looked this up, it means search engine optimization, SEO. Did not know before an hour ago. Ooh, that one's heavy. So JM, are you a cone sixer? Fire into, what is that? 22. I'm at 2165, so cone 6 is like maybe like 2200. Depends on speed, but who makes your glaze? Oh, thank you. JM says website looks great. Yeah, we did Shopify, and so far pretty great. Of course, I'm sure you know from your husband's work how challenging it can be to like get everything set up with Google. It took 2 months. But I'm grateful for Google, you know. They definitely make it so that you can like fix the problems, which is nice. This is just a little piece of wire that I bent. Golan says, how'd you learn to do that? To be honest, I think I'll quote Warren McKenzie here, who's one of my favorite potters, but he said your first 10,000 pots are really hard, and after that it gets a little easier. And that's true. I did take a couple pottery classes in college, and then I've just, I think like everybody who throws on the wheel, like developed the skill over time. And have gotten very familiar with failure. I was asking JM earlier about what temperature she fires to because I have just recently moved from Washington to California, and when I got to California, the clay that they make only fires to cone 5, And when I fired to cone 6, the clay got blisters and bloated. And I did not know, to be honest with you, how to change or adapt my glazes to go to cone 5. And so it took me like a whole year of learning molecular chemistry to figure out how to change it. But I'm better for it because I can tell you this one's too small. My pots are way better. Not this one. They are way better than when I was a teacher. Into the pot. Oh, thank you. Yeah, you know what I really wanted, JM, is I wanted to be able to take a glaze and on the outside make it a matte finish. And then I wanted to take and use chemistry and make the same glaze, the same exact color on the inside, but gloss. And so like this is a form that I'm working on. You can see the outside is kind of a matte finish. And then the inside, it's the same glaze, it's just glossy. And then I use this third glaze over the top. I call it surf. It kind of looks like a wave. Yeah. Who do you, or what's the name of your clay, JM? Do you use a speckled buff or what are you throwing with? Remix. Yep, that's what this is here. Are you in California, JM? I hadn't heard of B-Mix until I moved to California. Oh, Florida. Yep, they make it there. Well, I think, is it from Laguna? I was talking to one of the clay techs at Laguna, and they said that the B in B-Mix actually stands for butts mix, which I thought sounded hilarious, but actually it was just the name of the guy the artist who had them initially make that clay just for him. He was a professor, I guess, at a college. And then over the years, they just ended up making it for everybody. And they switched it to B-Mix. Yeah. Oh, speckled brown? Yeah, I love a speckled clay. One of my very first customers ever, it was a second sale last May, I guess. It was in May, yeah. And she just loved these speckled cups that I did, which I kind of thought weren't very good. But she said, make me more of them. So I have them in the kiln right now. But it's been a challenge for me to get a good white. I was using Zirco packs to make white, and now I'm doing a Zirco packs and tin to make white. The issue is cutlery marking. The Zirco packs opacifier doesn't really do a good job melting, so it takes up like if you scratch it with a knife, it takes up a gray like streak, and you can't wash it off. So I switched over to tin. We'll see how that goes. JM said, I haven't made my own glaze yet. I made the glaze for the studio I worked at, but never made my own. Right on. Yeah, it was something I had never done either. I think the most involved I had ever been with glaze making before this was kind of looking up recipes in a book and then just trying them out. But I didn't know any molecular chemistry or any of the periodic table before like 6 months ago. And now I feel like I know some. I've done, I should count, but over 1,000 glaze tests. Right now I'm working on, I want a white glaze with gold gonite crystals growing in it. And I have it, I got the white, and I've got like a couple crystals growing. And I am in the fire right now testing higher zinc levels to try to get more gold. You know, people are really into, Leah, could you check my horizontal feed and tell me if it's working? I got some kind of a error from YouTube, but I didn't want to like shut it off if it was working, and they're just stressing about nothing. It might be that I am trying to play a video. Thank you. Leah's part of the Pottery family. I feel like, you know, the more you hang out with somebody online, you kind of like know them a little bit, but you don't know them. Do you all have that experience as well? Like people that you don't know in real life, but you still feel like they're your friends? Well, that is Leah. I would definitely consider her a friend. Ah, Jessica from JM Clay. Nice to meet you, Jessica. Jessica from Florida, at JM Clay. Yeah, if you're here and you're interested, we were checking out earlier, Jessica from JM Clay posted a video on how to make a cylinder. or on making a cylinder. I don't think it was a instruction one. It's very good, and I recommend you check it out. We're trying to get Jessica to 50 followers, 50 subscribers. She's got 47 right now, or the last we checked. So if you got 2 seconds and want to follow a talented potter, passionate artiste and craftsperson, you won't be sorry. Nice. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Leah. Oh, right on. Nick said you have an extra stream pending. After the stream, go back and check the cam rotation. Extra stream pending. Oh, yeah. Yeah, the camera's not right. I can fix that. It's number 2. Oh, the other way. Nick, you got to go to Costa Rica. I mean, you don't have to, but I think it's right up your alley, man. You'd love it. I'm not telling you what to do. But I get the feeling like you're the kind of guy who might love the vibe there. Real chill vibe. Everybody's super nice. Hanging out with some sloths. Drinking a pineapple smoothie. I drink so many pineapple smoothies. Mandy said, hey friends, can't stay but had to pop in, and I missed you, Josh. I miss you too. Can't wait to hear about your Costa Rica trip. What you think of the beverage when you get to it. Beverages. I know you're busy. Busy bee. Yeah, hey man, you know what I'm doing is I took a bunch of drone video on the trip, and so I'm streaming that on the horizontal. And right now there's a beautiful sunset. And I just took the drone, I just went out as far as I could go, and then I just went slowly back. It's amazing, the sunsets there. I mean, there's good sunsets probably in a lot of places, but I think there's just something about when you're in a place that you don't know and you see something beautiful. It captures a moment. Yes. You know, I've often thought about, since I've met people online, if it were a possibility to do like a potter's retreat. You know what I mean? Like everybody meets somewhere, and then because we all have skills, you know, not only in pottery, but in like, you know, in social media strategy, and in you know, like, I mean, we all have skills that we could offer each other, and it would be so cool to like get together, throw some pots, you know, and hang out and like talk about our goals and what we're trying to do and how we can, you know, achieve our goals. And I just think we all are like-minded in this way because we're joined, you know, by YouTube. And I've often thought about that. Like, back if that were even possible. Meet at the National Ceramics Conference. But you don't get to throw there or do work. Mandy said, you all need to find me. Stay awesome and lovely. Good to see you, Mandy. Thank you so much for popping in. I think I saw your feed the other day when you were running some errands. I might have that mixed up with someone else. Regardless, it's really good to see you. Too thick on this one. Yes, I would love Florida. I have this feeling. California is great, way too big, but I think Florida is my kind of people. Plus, I heard Disneyland in Florida is way better. Or is it Disney World there? Stream pending. What I did. Yeah, Potter's Retreat. How much clay did I start with? Let's see, I have a pug mill there, and I use two probably 12-inch long chunks. Maybe 12, 14 pounds, something like that. This clay is pretty soft. I think there's still a little like residual grit or something, because when I was first, not too long ago, and I still have some, I had multiple clays that I was testing out, and I was throwing it all into the pug mill. So now I kind of have a blend, B-mix and other, and hoping to just transition over to 100% B-mix. This board of pots. Throw them on the ground. Okay. In the habit of doing. How many there? 12? 12? That's not right. Leah! Joel! Joel, he had his 100th live stream today. It's pretty bad to the bone. First cup of Joel. Big time. Congratulations to that. He's leading the way, showing us how it's done. Oh, 97 today. Okay. So today is 97 today. Today is Wednesday, 97, 98. Are you going to do it consecutively, Joel? So is it going to be Thursday 98, Friday 99, Saturday 100? Or is there going to be a gap? I don't know why I saw on Ben Wolf's feed somebody said today was the day, but maybe I misread it. Oh, there are gaps. Okay. Keeping us in suspense. I like it. Why these have gotten bigger. Throwing off the hump can be such a challenge. Joel, we were talking about doing a potter's retreat. Would you be into that? Meeting up, talking pottery. Dick said we could all come to his house. I'm just kidding. Yeah, yeah. I actually was watching another Potter's feed today. She was talking about wanting to do the Great American Pottery Throwdown. You know, there isn't one in the US. It's a British thing. British. And so that would be pretty amazing. Get together. See if we can get Nick on the wheel. Great pottery throwdown. I think I'd be terrible at it. I'm kind of like monkey with hammer. I can throw this bowl, but if you want me to turn it into a pineapple, forget it. Maybe we could do a virtual pottery throwdown. Madison, welcome back. We were just talking, Madison, about how there's no great pottery throwdown in the United States. It's just in overseas, and how it'd be super fun to have a pottery reality show. There's enough drama in pottery captivating an audience, I think. The van is wide open. Heck yeah. I call top bunk. I'm gonna go sleep on that new sand boat you got out in the bayou. That was a great transition that you made, man. I thought that was really cool. Oh, the voice thing. Cool. I've never tried that, Madison. And it's okay, Madison, if you wrote something rude. I'm actually anxiously awaiting my first troll. That's true. That's true. You know you've made it when you've got trolls. Swan City said, Nick learned how to throw, but I could never learn how to do what Nick does. Straight mastermind. Yeah, it's obvious to me watching your feed the skill. It's not I hate to say talent anymore, because like talent is something that you're born with, and I think it cheapens your accomplishment. You know, you've worked really hard to learn what you know, Nick, and it really shows. You know, your feed, I mean, it says a lot when instead of glazing my bowls I sit down and start watching your feed. I mean, I'm doing the thing that I'm watching you do, and I just love it, because what you do is entertain people, and I have been stuck on this thought about that component of what it is we're doing here. So it really, the throwing of the pots is such a small component of what we're trying to do, and the entertainment is the real value that people get, that I get from your feed. It's just so darn entertaining. It's a thrill to watch. And you know, there's highs and lows. There's drama. There's villains. You know, you get all fired up. It's real life. It's awesome. Plus, all the tech stuff you do is out of this world, man. I tried figuring out how to do multiple streams like you, and it is something I've yet to learn. Leah said they wouldn't last long. I'm kind of known to be a queen troll. The troller of the trolls. Yes, I know that about you, Leah. I use my powers wholly for good. LOL. Well, I know that about you. I have witnessed that in action, and I gotta say, it is admirable seeing you help people in need, because we're all here, you know, presently, and some people come and they have a need, and to have somebody like you who's like empathetic and compassionate and kind, who can like go to them and have a, you know, heart-to-heart conversation without judging or without, you know, escalating. I don't know. It's something that I really admire about you and kind of aspire to do better at. It's thick. Well, thank you. It's inspiring to be around genuine people. And you never know who you're around until things get hard, or stressful or scary. One of my good friends, I won't say her name because this is kind of an embarrassing story, but this speaks to people like you, Leah, who do the right thing. Um, but a friend of mine is getting scammed, right? There's a scammer who has got the photos and profile of somebody on Instagram, and he is texting with my friend and has convinced her to send him money and convinced her that he's in love with her. And the reason I'm telling you this story is she has refused to acknowledge that it's a scam. And, her family did an intervention and she wasn't willing to hear that. And kind of everybody was like, we tried, and they threw up their hands. And there was one person, my friend Lee, he's not directly related to my friend, but he's an in-law, and he would not give up. In fact, he went so far, he found the guy on Instagram, the real person, and he reached out to them via email, through Instagram, whatever, and explained the situation. And just yesterday convinced this real person to do a video call with him, and I'm just going to leave this person's name as my friend, right? And it wasn't until she saw that person's face and the explanation that, hey, that's not me, that's not something I would do, I'm a married man, that she believed it. And it was really hard for her, to come face to face with this embarrassing fact that she had become a victim of a scam. But the reason I tell this story is, Leah, is like, there was one person, who did that hard thing when everybody else just kind of gave up and said, well, she's an adult and she can make her own decisions. And I feel like you're that kind of a person. You're the kind of person who's not going to give up. And that's amazing to me. Yeah. I've been fooled. I've been fooled by the scam where they call you up on the phone and pretend to be the bank. That was a bummer. Gave him $1,000. Or no, they didn't. I didn't give it to him. They took it out of the account. I don't know why they didn't take more, but that was embarrassing. Leah says, I don't give up easy. I believe that about you. 2 young ones. You are a tenacious person. Thank you, Leah. I'm glad she had that person too. He's a good man. I was just talking to him today, and he feels bad because what he did, even eventually will have helped her, but during the drama and throughout the process was something that she really didn't want. She was not interested in his help. She was upset with him. She was mad because she wanted this to be true. And I think a lot of us, are in that position where we don't benefit in any way from a decision we have to make and something we have to do, but there's somebody that we love and care about, and we're gonna do that thing. It might cost us a lot, but I think that's what being a courageous person is about. It's about doing things that are hard, even when we don't feel like it. Actually, that's so nice. Thank you for saying that. Let's see, I need some more clay. Got it brought here. Comes out of my plug mill, just in that log, like that. Let's see if I can wedge it on the wheel. Yeah. Good enough. That's pretty soft. Lee said, I agree. Not all courageous acts involve saving a bus full of kittens. And sometimes it's just making it through the day, doing the next right thing, even when it's hard. That is just so poetically written. Do the next right thing, even when it's hard. No doubt. Speaking of hard, started a little bit of a weight loss journey. I have this kind of weight in my mind that is like I call it the magic number. It's not a magic number, it's a bad number. But if I get on the scale and I see that number, then I have to be aware that my health is important. And I'm a person who I love sweets, and I can get into a habit of eating too many sweets and putting on weight. So I got on the scale and I was like 183, which for me is way over. Like I should be like 165, somewhere in there. So I'm just mindful of needing to make some changes. Thanks for saying that. I think the camera takes off 10 pounds. But it'll be interesting, you know, like I am going to lose the weight and just see, I don't know, because this is such a visual experience. See if people can tell. Leah said, like in recovery, what always say, I can't promise it'll be easy, but I can promise it'll be worth it. Yeah, I can't say it'll be easy, but I can say it'll be worth it. Leah, it's time for you to write a book. I mean, I have spent with you how many hours? 3, 4 hours? Maybe more on Swan City. You write so many things that are just pure gold. Like things that I take away from the stream and I like think about over and over again at night. Like, it's not easy, but it's worth it. Like, what if that was just the motto for each of our lives? You know what I mean? Like, I'm not doing the easy thing. I'm doing the hard thing, because it's worth it. Huh. My head just exploded, Leah. That was such a profound statement. Yeah. I had to karate chop my towel. I had some water running down my arm. Oh, thank you for saying that, JM. Yeah, it's hard because I've always been an athlete. So what I kind of consider as normal might be, I don't know, more towards like a athletic weight. Gosh, I made some of these too big and now this one's too small. But I have this other rule that I will not buy larger pants. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not growing. I need to fit in my pants. And I noticed like a couple weeks ago that or Jessica said she'd read that book. I would too. Ah, man, this one should not. There we go. Yeah, a book. How do you start a book? I'm actually thinking about this. I started making notes in a OneNote about. It's too early, you know. I don't want to call it a book, but I just thought I'm gonna keep track of some things that are my story. You know, what is my story? Because you never know what you're gonna have a chance to communicate, and I have a terrible memory, so it's great to have these recordings of what I'm trying to do right now. Because I have a vision in my head of what it's going to look like, and I have a passion for it, and I'm working hard, but a lot of it is luck. Not luck. A lot of it is out of my control. These are getting wild. This one's way too big. So, for the things that are out of my control, can't predict what's going to happen, but I want to be ready for every opportunity. I hear that, Jessica. I hear you. I am. What I mean to say is, I'm listening to that, and I can't possibly understand, comprehend what the challenges you're going through in that way, but that sentiment of like coming to terms with ourselves is something that I have become familiar with recently. It's like I am here inside of my own body and brain, and I'm like aware of what I got. I'm terrible at math. Like, had to do the fourth grade twice. Terrible. Ooh, that one's thick. Should I save that? But I just am never gonna be super duper smart in that way, and I don't mean that as like an insult to myself. I just mean that like I am inside of my mind and aware of what I have in that way, with my intellectual capacity. And it's kind of a trippy thing, to think about. I don't know, like it's the shift in sentiment, from what our moms always said. It was like, you can do anything, you can be anyone, you can even be the president of the United States, and then to kind of come to terms with, no, I can't. JM said, I want to write an autobiography to tell young girls, if they are dealing with trauma, there is a light at the end. One day you will no longer be defined by your trauma. That is a powerful message to bring. Jessica, what's the first step? You know what I mean? Like, as somebody who's thinking about recording my own story, autobiography, I just am hesitant to start calling it by the real name. But for you, what's the first step that you're gonna take, or you could take, to like start that journey of writing that story about yourself? Jessica said, I'm right now blocking it out. Almost like chapters of my life being chapters in the book. Just like making notes when I remember specific details. Ooh, I love that. So you're blocking out chapters in time. And the time is based on significant history. So I guess my question then is, does the book take like a linear, is it start at the beginning and then continue on to the present? Or will there be like relevant details that might happen out of order? Simulation is real. I agree with you, Nick. I can just imagine going out to Texas Roadhouse with Nick. That would be a stimulating conversation. Guarantee it. Roadhouse. Ooh, blow your mind. Pottery retreat with Nick. There'd have to be like a seminar that was like full of things you never knew you needed to know. Stimulate your mind. Oh, Jessica said yes, linear. It's a lot of trauma to digest, so I don't want to jump around and end up confusing my reader. It seems, you know, yeah, telling like a easy to follow story is probably critical. Telling a story. Excuse. Like I said, my life story is something else. Nick, I don't know if you can hear me, but what's the movie for tonight? I just watched a movie with Bill Murray, who is dressed as a clown and robs a bank. It's called Quick Change. It's freaking awesome. Bill Murray as in a clown. Yeah. Jessica said we should swap stories one day. Oh yeah, Jessica. It's available for free on Amazon Prime. It's awesome. I had never heard of it. And I'm really glad I got to watch it. Gosh, making mistakes. Yeah, quick change. Lee, was that you who told me about quick change? I have my notes. I wrote it down. Oh, but I didn't write who told me. I just wrote that. I said quick change, Bill Murray. Oh, watch The Sandlot if you haven't recently. Spring in full swing in Florida. Play ball. All right, Sandlot. Sandlot it is. That's the homework for everybody who's looking for something to watch tonight or tomorrow. Sandlot. Jessica said, Being Human was a great show to binge watch. Being Human. Leah said, Nope, wasn't me. Maybe Mandy. Oh, about Cook Change. Could be. This is why I have to write things down. Watched a few seasons of that about being human. It was so good. All right, Being Human. I've been watching this show on Apple TV called Severance. I'm only like 4 episodes in, but so far I thought it was a dark comedy, but it says it's a horror. So I don't know. Oh, it's a good place. That's a great show. Dan Aykroyd? Is that Dan Aykroyd? No, that's probably, I'm saying the wrong name. The bartender from Cheers. Definitely not Dan Aykroyd. Don't let Nick hear me say that. That was embarrassing. Spring training! With the fork. Yeah. Only 10 on that board. Cheese and rice. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, biscuits. Yeah, that's a good one. I often say nuts. Or I'll say turds. Double turds. If it's really messy. The things we say to not swear. Ah, turds. That's a frequent one of mine. Kentucky mushroom. Mm-mm. Ah, sure. Oops. Thanks, Nick. Yeah, I learned from Papa Joel that you could just stream right from your phone, which is what I'm doing here. Backwards. And on the horizontal feed, I put a, looks like it's paused. What's going on now? I put a video player of some drone footage. From our trip. Let's see how did I mess that up? Properties. To the next place. Fast forward to these. And Marindo.
Ready for your next song? While you're waiting, get ready for your next career. Amp up your salary in healthcare, public safety, IT, business, digital media, and more. Only at your local community college. Get ready at readysetcareer.org.
Jessica, thank you so much for hanging out. It was a pleasure talking with you. And I can't wait to see more videos. Jessica from JM Clay posted today, trying to get to 50 followers. Subscribers, I keep saying followers, but I mean to say subscribers. She's got 47 when we started today. So if you have a few seconds to go check out JM Clay on YouTube, maybe give her a follow or and a thumbs up. I know she'd really appreciate it. Stay tuned for Jessica's book. It's in the works. Leah, if you had to title your book right now, what would the title of your book be? I know mine. I had to title my book right now, it would be Inside of the Mind of an Idiot. Can't use this. Funny. That's exactly 24. Thought of it. I could have done it. And he said, lessons I've learned. A tumultuous journey through heartbreak, adversity, addiction, trauma, and recovery. That is a great title. Immediately thought-provoking. I mean, you should screenshot that. Write that down. That's a great title. I'm so impressed, Leah. Never actually thought about the title. What a great question. Oh, thank you for saying that. It has been on the forefront of my mind, is to be better at asking questions. I recently read a book called Laughter. I forgot the title. That's ironic. I forgot the title of the book I'm about to tell you about. But he said in the book that the act of love is in, and like what the word that he used was about questioning. It was like asking and interviewing the people that you love, like that you're constantly asking them questions, and that really stuck with me. It's like often I get so into like my job here on the wheel with blades, and I don't do a good job of engaging with my wife, you know. And I read that and I realized, you know, I need to do a really good job of like interviewing and asking her questions. And it struck me because like maybe that's what love is. It's like love is interrogation, you know. It's like you're constantly asking so that you can listen and understand on a deeper level. Love is interrogation, and I want to be better at that, you know. I want to be better at showing love by asking questions, and I think if I can do that better, then, you know, that's what my act of love will be. Anyway, here it's 5:05, so I think I'm gonna sign off, clean up, and